Welcome back to MD Connected. I'm Joanna Gomez. Marvin's Corner is one organization that provides professional help to those struggling to overcome any type of addiction. Here to tell us more about Marvin's Corner and the services it provides are President and founder Jon Schmidt and Vice President Eric Barrows. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here. Marvin's Corner. How did it all start? How did it come about?
It started when I was in recovery from heroin addiction 27 years ago at a program called the Delancey Street Foundation.
Okay.
There was an older Jewish man named Marvin Tobman, who was a friend of mine from prior to my entry, who waited for me every day when I came back from my job, or actually jobs.
Every day?
Every day, Monday through Friday.
What jobs?
In Delancey Street, as in Marvin's Corner, we own and operate business training schools, which allow us to generate funds with which to continue the operation of the foundation itself. Both companies or both organizations refuse government funding. We don't want government funding because the addict, as an individual, if you will, as he could say, or I could say, or anybody else who had cleaned up could say, always exists with their hand out. We need to stop that. And we have. We've stopped it by practicing self-reliance, by studying Emerson, by studying Thoreau, and making it into a reality. So every day I had this wonderfully old fellow, my friend Marvin, waiting for me, full of love, full of advice, full of strict pull-ups if need be, just making sure that I learned, not that I worked so much as that I learned from what I'd done in order to support us. Marvin died of cancer-related causes. Before he did, I made him a promise. And the promise was that I would create a different version of Delancey Street that worked for all people, and that I would do it before I turned 51. Well, I'm 51, and other than Marvin, because my dad told me you'd only have 2 friends in the world. I've had 2 friends, and I have 2, and the other one's sitting on my left-hand side.
Very nice.
Eric has been phenomenal, and I'll turn this over to him.
And he's also your vice president.
He's a vice president and partner.
What I do is I coordinate the interventions. I don't know if you've seen the show Intervention.
I've seen it, but can you explain a little bit more?
Sure. What happens is we get phone calls from our website, local phone calls as well. Family members have alcoholics or drug addicts in the family. They don't know what to do. They're at the end of their rope. So what we do is we create a scenario. We get a group setting. We have the family members put down all the wonderful joys and loving things that they remember about the addict. And then on the other side of the paper, it's going to say what we're not going to do. We are going to cut them off completely if they don't go to treatment.
You're going to cut
them off. It's sort of, it's a way to force them into treatment.
Now, how long are they in treatment?
It's been, according to studies, the longer you stay, the better you do. Delancey Street Foundation, again, where we took a lot of our ideas, like us, is a 2-year program. If you come to us, we require a 2-year commitment. At the end of that 2 years, if you wish to stay longer, you're welcome to stay longer, providing your attitudes and your philosophies fit ours, and providing you're willing to continue leading or to assume a leadership role. After that point in time, if you want to go to college, if you want to go to trade school, if you want to find a union, we'll back you. What we want you to do at the end of that 2 years is to go back into society as a successful whole human being, not as a person who got clean and didn't do any drugs or any alcohol for a 30-day period of time, which generally doesn't work. It's kind of like going and getting healthy so you can go get less than healthy again. But rather stay with us and develop a new person to learn and relearn, and before you relearn, to unlearn that which you already had thought you needed to know.
So you guys started up because of the idea of Delancey. Now, what is different?
The Delancey Street Foundation changed when its founder, may he rest in peace, passed away some years ago. Not necessarily for the bad, but rather it changed. And I'd committed to Marvin, and I committed to John Maher of Delancey Street, and I made a very strong promise that I would create this program that would take what I learned when I was there and mold it so that we could take those who are typically disenfranchised, poor, and or lost and floating in our society, and give them a chance that I had, the chance that he had, although not at Delancey Street, so that they can have families, so that they can have the same happiness when they put their feet on the floor in the morning.
I'm a recovered drug addict, and what I do is to stay clean on a daily basis. I go to meetings. I go to AA, I go to NA, And I also...
Now, part of your program, Marvin's Corner, they have to go to meetings every week?
We're going to have people bringing meetings in to the facility once we get the facility. Right now, we are searching.
You're searching for a facility.
Yeah.
And how old, is there an age?
Starting at 18 up until when you can't walk anymore.
Really?
But we don't, it's difficult to bring in youth. Youth tend to have a different attitude. There are different sets of laws and different sets of things.
There's a big problem with the youth and drugs because the youth is the future. So are you guys planning to change that? Or
once we have set up more firmly, right now we have, thank God, been doing a good job in Miami. We're looking at moving, actually expanding to Baltimore because Baltimore is my home and Baltimore is awash in heroin. It has been for years. That's where I learned how to be a drug addict, and that's where I learned how to be a convict, and it was in San Francisco that I learned how to be a better person. So we want to affect those two areas. We take people from all over the country right now and place them in programs, but we're not getting rich off of it. A great many people that do these interventions charge $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. All I can say without bragging is we charge a whole lot less, and we place you for free. We find programs that will take you based on your attributes, based on how you came up, and based on our promise and our evaluation of you, and we put you there.
What are some of the services you guys have? Because I know you have different types of services.
What we do is we train the individual in a multitude of different vocations. Flower sales is one of our largest, where that person is going to, in Dade County, we have a huge floral industry. And we are going to utilize that industry to help fund our program. And we're going to teach them how to get into the floral business from the aspect of sales and bringing them into the country and everything else that goes along with it. Also, we do
Specialty advertising.
Specialty, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny. It's kind of funny, if I may.
Yeah, please.
Because people are selling pens to simplify it, to save a life. Now, there are multitudes of items in your house when you go home at night. You have your imprinted coffee mug, you have your calendar, you have your pens, you have your t-shirt, you have your flip-flops, all of which have corporate logos. One of the primary things I learned at Delancey Street was how to take these products and market them, not in grosses, but rather in 10, 20, 50,000, 100,000 units.
Okay.
And once I got beyond the issue of buy this and save a life, which you can call a pity pitch if you want, although it's a successful pitch and it helps the foundation, you learn how to do it for sake of sales, for sake of opening and closing. You become the consummate professional that we want you to be. We offer a continuance of that when you graduate.
Okay.
If you're comfy, you want to continue it, you can you can still keep your accounts. We'll do the invoicing, we'll pay you, and if you slip, God forbid, which does happen sometimes with us because we are diseased, we can bring you back, we can continue selling your accounts for you, move your money aside, and when you're ready again, everything will be the same as it was.
One goal, future goal for Marvin's Corner.
National existence. I want to see people from all over America having the ability to come to us to get better. The same chance I had, the same chance he found elsewhere. I want to see people having the ability to go to court before a judge who would otherwise throw them away like yesterday's garbage. And I want that judge to look at them and say, you know what, there's a place I heard of. We're going to take a chance on you.
If you could say one thing to anybody that's watching to convince them to go get help, and they're scared, they probably want to, they don't know if they should, it's getting to them, what would you say?
I would say pick up the phone, give us a call, go to the website, read a little about us, and take a risk.
Well, congratulations to you both on staying clean and for everything that you've done for everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations.